Well, Chicago is named America's murder capital for the 13th consecutive year. And Democrat leaders are now being called out for demonizing police and touting a declining crime rate despite the concerns of residents from all across that city. Let's bring in Raymond Lopez, Democratic Chicago alderman. Your city, unfortunately, is the murder capital. Raymond, why?
You know, well, the reason is simple, John. We have a political elite that is in love with criminality, that encourages criminal behavior, pushes down our police officers, demonizes their work on a daily basis, and elevates the perpetrators of crime as the victims of society themselves. And that kind of coddling has brought us to where we are today for the 13th year in a row. Right now, the disregard for human life is so high in the city of Chicago that you can literally have a group of 100 teens enjoying a warm day and almost expect at least 2 or 3 to be shot. And we, in fact, saw that just 2 days ago where a 15-year-old was shot in a crowd walking down the Magnificent Mile. And many of our politicians, like Brandon Johnson and others, continue to make excuses, continue to rationalize this behavior as opposed to hold them and their parents accountable for what's going on.
There was a congressional...
Nah, I'm going to tell you what the problem is down there in Chicago. I mean, we've been hearing this go on for many years in Chicago. I mean, we all know Chicago got a little nickname called Chirac and everything like that. But I'm going to tell you what the biggest problem in Chicago is that, for one, they need a new mayor down there in Chicago. They need a brand new freaking mayor down there. And, that's number one. They need a new mayor. Number two, they ain't going hard enough on these niggas down there in Chicago. No, they're not going hard enough on these niggas. I mean, Chicago crime rate just goes up and up every year. Their crime rate and homicide is just very high. And I think the problem with all that is that they've been going way too soft on these niggas down there in Chicago. Because evidently the police, they ain't doing their job down there. I mean, some might be doing their job, but evidently the police force is not enough to calm these niggas down there in Chicago. I'm gonna tell you what the government need to start doing. The government need to start putting a military base down in Chicago. Forget the police. Police, they ain't trained for this. I think if they put like a military base down there in Chicago and every killing rough neighborhood down there in Chicago, kick every freaking door down in Chicago and clean that area out. It'll take the military force for years, but that's what they're gonna have to start doing. They're gonna have to start putting the military down there in Chicago. And one of the roughest and roughest neighborhood of them all, and kick every single last door down. Because I guarantee you, they can clean out that place. Y'all see how they done. Y'all see how these military soldiers down there in Iraq, they sit there and they patrol the areas and everything like that. They need to do exactly the same thing in Chicago. They need to have a military soldiers down there in Iraq. Now, some people might say, why would they need a military soldiers down there? I mean, look at all the killing going on down there. All the killing. Like, them niggas down in Chicago, wow, man, them niggas own some shit down there. Which I know the government's not going to do that, but, if I was the president, man, I would put the fear of God in y'all niggas down there in Chicago if I was the president of the United States of America, because I would hire me some black ops down there and snatch y'all niggas off the streets, every goddamn thing. And that's what they need to start doing, man. They need to start putting a military base down there and patrol every neighborhood down there in Chicago and kick every single door down in Chicago. And I guarantee you they'll be finding a lot of guns. They'll be finding a lot of drugs. I guarantee you it'll take some years for it to get back right again. But that's what they're gonna have. That's what the government is gonna have to start doing from now on. We need the government to go down there and clean Chirac out, man. Clean Chicago out in these hoods down here, man. Everybody talking about stop the killing, stop the killing, stop the killing, stop the killing, all that shit like that, man. I mean, the government can put a stop to that, but you know what? They don't want to, though. The government don't want to put a stop to that because they happy that we killing each other. The government's happy. And I'm not one of these people who's going around blaming on the white man and this and that, but it's really sad though, man, that We killing each other down there in Chicago. I mean, Chicago. I mean, not just in Chicago, but everywhere, man. And you know what? We're gonna be extinct like dinosaurs. You know, African Americans out there, we all gonna be erased, and we all gonna be in the history books, and we all gonna be extinct like dinosaurs. It ain't gonna be no more of us out there because we all just keep killing each other. Like real tall. That's the truth I'm speaking. It ain't gonna be no more left of us out there because we all just keep killing each other. And it ain't gonna be no more of us out there. It ain't. It's gonna be a very small portion of our race out there. Because half of us is gonna be laying in that graveyard dead. And we just continue to wipe each other out. Ain't gonna be no more of us. This keeps up. Ain't gonna be no more. When someone sit there and say, why aren't there more African Americans in America? Because we wiped each other out. We killed each other. That's why it ain't really that much left of us. But yeah, man. They need to put the military down in Chicago. Put the military down there. Clean it up. The government can do that. They just don't want to. Kick every freaking door down in there, patrol every area. It'll get them niggas. Because trust me, man, them niggas ain't going to try to go to war with them military soldiers down there. Come on, y'all niggas ain't going to go to war with them soldiers down there. But they got to start doing that. They need to start doing that. And saying enough is enough. We kicking everybody's door down in there in Chicago. And we're gonna search everybody's house. If you got guns or drugs or something like that, hey, your ass is out of there. That's what they need to start doing, the military soldiers. That's what they need to start doing. That's what Chicago needs to start doing, is putting the military down there. That's what they need to start doing to get this shit back under control. That's the only way this is going to resolve everything. They're going to have to do it. So what do you guys think? If y'all want to leave a comment or not. Should they put a military base down there in Chicago? Patrol every area and win the baddest neighborhood in Chicago? I think they should. They need to do that. They're gonna have to get rough with these niggas down there in Chicago. As much as I hate to say this shit, but they're gonna have to put a military down there in Chicago, and they're gonna have to get rough with these niggas down there in Chicago. They're gonna have to get real rough and dirty with these niggas in order for the killing to stop down there in Chicago. It's the only way. Clean it up. That's the only way they have to do it, in my opinion. Some might say it might work. Some might say it won't work. I think it'll work. Put the military down there in Chicago. Put the fear in God in these niggas down there in Chicago. That's the only way. They've been going too soft on these niggas in Chicago. They ain't cracking down on these niggas hard enough in Chicago. Anyway, peace.